Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for December 24th. And Merry Christmas Eve to everyone on this December 24th. December 24th is the 358th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 7 days remaining until the end of the year. Today's word is Oryzivorous, which is an adjective that means rice eating or having a diet rich in rice, as in China is an Oryzivorous country. This word comes to us from Latin roots, oryza, rice, and vorus, feeding. Earliest documented use of Oryzivorous is 1857. And before we get started, I want to remind you again that links to all my research are included in the show notes. And with that, we're going to get started in the year 1801, when a man named Richard Trevithick introduced a steam-powered passenger vehicle, which he called the Puffing Devil, or a puffer. It used a higher pressure of steam than previous steam inventions. Unfortunately, this one overheated and caught fire a few days later. He did try his technology on trains, but the construction was so heavy that it crushed the tracks. In 1814, the War of 1812 ended. No job's finished till the paperwork's done. And it was on this day that they signed the treaty to call to peace. In 1818, the first performance of Silent Night took place in the Church of St. Nicholas in Oberndorf, Austria. In 1851, a terrible fire swept through the Library of Congress, destroying 2/3 of Thomas Jefferson's personal library collection. In 1905, American businessman, engineer, pilot, and eventually eccentric millionaire Howard Hughes was born on Christmas Eve, 1905. He lived to the age of 70, achieving his 70. In 1914, Scottish-American geologist, botanist, author, and founder of the Sierra Club, John Muir, died on December 24, 1914, at the age of 78. In 1922, American actress Ava Gardner was born. On Christmas Eve of 1923, President Coolidge lit the first national Christmas tree. Not only was this the first national Christmas tree, but also the first one to be illuminated with electric lights. In 1946, American captain, lawyer, and politician, 44th Attorney General of Alabama, and 84th Attorney General of the United States, a name that's been in the news off and on over the last few years, Jeff Sessions, was born on December 24th, 1946. You just never know what this research is going to turn up. In 1952, the McCarran-Walter Act went into effect on this day. It was meant to revise U.S. immigration laws, and as is the case nowadays, some people loved it and some people hated it. Back then, the main focus was to try to prevent communist subversion in the United States. Interestingly, when the bill was originally passed in June of 1952, President Truman vetoed it. Congress then overrode his veto, as they can do, and the act took effect on this day in 1952. The McCarran-Walter Act set immigration standards that held until new legislations were passed in 1965. In 1962, American fashion designer Kate Spade was born. She died in 2018 at the age of 55. In 1968, Apollo 8. We've been talking about this a few times over the past week or so. Well, it is today that the crew entered the orbit around the moon, becoming the first humans to do so, unless you subscribe to certain ancient alien theory. They performed 10 lunar orbits and broadcast live TV pictures. In 1972, Bob Hope gave his last show in Vietnam. In 1973, Stephenie Meyer, best-selling author of the Twilight novels, was born on this day in 1973 in Hartford, Connecticut. Also in 1973, the District of Columbia Home Rule Act was passed, allowing residents of Washington, D.C. to elect their own government, as it should be. 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, claiming they were upholding the Soviet-Afghan Friendship Treaty of 1978. Here, let's be friends. Okay, now I'm going to invade you. I don't have all the facts on that one, but In 1980, witnesses reported the first of several sightings of unexplained lights near RAF Woodbridge in Rendlesham Forest, Suffolk, England, United Kingdom, in an incident sometimes referred to as Britain's Roswell. I have watched and listened to hours of exposition about this incident on the Ancient Aliens TV show, episodes of Coast to Coast AM, and at MUFON meetings. And it's actually a very interesting incident. I won't go deeper into it right now, but I have given several links in the show notes to sources about the Rendlesham Forest incident. I think that's going to do it for us today. As always, links to my research are included in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and share it around. While you're here, check out my other channel, 8 Susquehanna. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. With 7 days remaining until the end of the year. I started to say till the end of the world. God, I hope not. Okay, take 57. Alrighty. Back to work. Okie dokie, Smokey. Let's just rearrange that a little bit. Just read it like it's written. That's not the way I like to tell it anyway. We don't need all those words. Is that right? I'm going to have to look at that. So many edits. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? She's not a man. And this is why I don't do live shows.